Hello everyone, and this is your Turbo speaking, and we are now back on air for the DP in Focus Season 2 restart. And of course, this is the moment when we have to share something in which I have kept this in a secret ever since January 2023, wherein I have a contact with, you know, as everybody is well aware of, with one of the US certified matchmaker and a science based dating coach. Of course, none other than Coach V, wherein I have informed her with regards to what happened between me and D. I'll not say her full name or nickname due to privacy reasons, but of course, this is a heartbreaking story wherein I have attempted for a soft courtship, but sadly rejected. Hence, it's a failure. Wherein I have released a full statement last January, wherein such failures and rejections could be much heartbreaking. But of course, I have no regrets of whatsoever. Of course, I've been more grateful, and to be honest, with the attendance to the Holy Mass at that particular Sunday, where heartbreaking revelation that occurred after the Holy Mass. Of course, I've been more thankful that God has another plan for me, and I have needed to surrender everything, all of my worries, all of my anxious and depressing moments at that time. Of course, Coach V knows about this situation as well, but I'll not disclose this in full detail due to the confidentiality that we have. But yes, of course, I have moved on, and everything got into an instant wherein with the moving on phase so hard than we have thought, or than I have thought. But of course, we have so many responsibilities, including those of, board examination review, in which I wasn't able to also last April, that is supposedly be done due to the fact that I wasn't able to pass the supposed two-thirds of the pre-boards as required by the university. But thankfully, the university or college have lifted such directive regarding the pre-boards requirement. Hence, we are ready for the board's examination through the review center based through the review center based pre-boards by tomorrow. Of course, please pray for me and my fellow review mates, especially that so hard to manage everything. The board's examination, with some of the juggling jobs that we have to execute, whether it's for the full-time or part-time that we need to fulfill. But then and again, we have to realize something, that you know what? Everything has a reason. And this is me speaking from the experience where yours truly have been endured for the past few years. And of course, I have been more thankful that the science-based dating coach, wait, once again, the science-based dating coach have let me to do the job of maintaining some of its top secret information that we will not be sharing to everyone else due to the confidentiality agreement that we have been signed. And of course, I'll hold it from the press releases, especially that the top secret information should not be leaked out of the public space, as this constitutes both privacy and copyright infringement. Speaking of the copyright or a trademark of any sort, of course, so saddened that the TVJ Productions and Tape Incorporated still under the dispute. Of course, let the TVJ lawyers do their job in order to fix those mess with regards to the trademark fiasco. And for some reason, I unanimously agree to what that TVJ Triumvirate or Triumph VA have modified some sort of a lyrics that says at the end EAT in order to make it safer. And as usual, this is the special episode of DP in Focus Season 2 Restart, wherein we have to undergo all sorts of revamp or refresher of these episodes that were supposed to air last year or months ago, but unable to due to some sort of internal issues on our own. But of course, we're so glad to see you once again all over Geneva TV, live on YouTube, and even later on Radio 1, wherein all of learnings that we have been going through will be shared, except for the top secret information that is not meant to be released to anyone else. But lately we have upgraded already our equipment from 256 gigabytes into 1 terabyte of our internal solid state disk drive, and all of a sudden some sort of technical issues have forced us to reformat the entire system. But thankfully, all of the files are stored on the external hard disk drives that remains untouched. And that's why, as you have noticed, this is our standard practice to store everything on the external storage devices so that we could be much safer as possible, and we will be back after the short break. Okay, we're back here on DP in Focus live session, which this which is the season 2 comeback, and this is your Derpol speaking from DP24 base in Tasmania City, home of the Pau Festival, and we are speaking right now that several upgrades have been occurring, especially where last month of June we have upgraded our internal solid state disk drive into a 1 terabyte, and of course we will show it to you, the proof that this old solid state disk drive is survived depreciated but still preserved in order for us to have a memory of what it takes to have such an internal solid state disk drive that is meant for the faster computing experience. And this July, Infinity Broadband in General Mariano Alvarez opens its doors to the residents, and of course, congrats to our Fiber Place partner in General Mariano Alvarez that provides much faster internet connection at affordable rate. And of course, in this base, we have seen already the upgrade of the internet connection from 75 into 150 Mbps as well across the Fiber Blaze subscription. Whether you're in Tasmanias or in Imus or Silang or General Trias or Trece Martires, it's automatically boosted already. So congratulations to our fellow Fiber Blaze subscribers and users right there. And speaking of the upgrades, we have planned already for the upgrade, and it's official that our plan is now at the 40 gigabyte of the memory that we have envisioned for the betterment of the engineering and media services that needs to be taken care of, plus the databases that we have currently been maintaining for our fellow partners. And likewise, we have to undergo some sort of rehabilitation works in order to provide much better service ever since that our laptop system has been overheating already, and only the external fans are powering it up. And we have no choice but to, go for the comprehensive rehabilitation plan in exchange of providing such services that are needed, and therefore our headset needs to be rehabilitated badly, like this one that we're holding right now. We're in. We have found a partner for us to provide such rehabilitation of the multimedia equipment, like those of the earphones or headsets, or the earphone headset with microphones that are built in. But of course, hopefully sooner or later, every struggles that we have been going through will be much better. And of course, we have to undergo some sort of reassessment if it's cleared or not for further services that we need to undertake. Especially, we have to do the job that we have to, and of course, study at the same time, and other tasks that are required to. But at the end of the day, even though there's some sort of busyness in our life, of course, we have to find time for us to undertake our passion projects like this, the video podcast version that is being aired live on our general TV and later on Radio 1 for DP24 media. And of course, we have to undertake some sort of measures that would prevent us, not only personally but professionally, from breaking our heart as well. And this concludes this story wherein at this day thank you very much for the friendship through online that we had from 2019. This is not for her exclusively, but also for all of our fellow sweethearts as well here who's tuning in to General TV and Radio 1. But of course, I am glad to see you, especially Okay, we're back here and we apologize for some sort of technical issues, but once again, we would like to greet her a happy and blessed birthday to you, Sis D, wherein hopefully if you came across into a relationship with your special someone, I'll be more happy to see you, especially if this meant to be a wonderful experience while you're truly still being into a single life. And of course, I'm happy to report this to you, mga ka-sweethearts, that yours truly have two searches that were considered in the lineup right after the heartbreak situation last January. And let's move on into another phase of new direction and of course the integrated dating experience that everything has to be proud of. And of course, our partner res- our partner US based or US certified rather matchmaker and a science based dating coach have recommend us to introduce ourselves into the restaurant, and of course we will strive not to make such mistakes once again. And since everything is so complex, not only for dating but also for engineering and the media as well, plus the medical stuff that everybody doesn't understand. Of course, we will support science based evidences or researches that are meant to be into bite size. And we could strive more hard to be a certified safety practitioner in the near future, aside from the fact of being a licensed civil engineer once we have passed the board examination. And actually, it's the first attempt for tomorrow. The second, the third, and the fourth choice will be some sort of a training. And of course, we do not promise anything, especially there is a tendency that some production might be suspended in order to give way for the board examination review. And of course, once we have passed the board's examination and have disclosed my name on it, then of course, we will be back at a bigger stage in which we are planning to do. Especially, that everything could make it possible through God's grace and God's love. Once again, if you have missed the earlier statement regarding the upgrades that happened earlier, we have upgraded our internal storage device into 1 terabyte, and we have planned to increase the memory of our system into 40 gigabyte as planned. And of course, we will be going to test out the 150 Mbps connection if it is stable or not for the extended period of time, as we are trying to restore the high definition 1080i live broadcast in the near future. But of course, it has to be done on a controlled environment, which is the studio. And say, of course, if we are going to plan everything, then we have to do it with love. And move on from all of the past heartbreaks that we have endured since January. This is your dear Paul once again. Have a wonderful day ahead. Be safe, be well, stay sane and dry, and you are loved.